Hello and welcome back to another CTF walkthrough. Today we're going to be tackling UltraTech from TryHackMe. This is one of the first medium boxes that I've taken down from TryHackMe. It was such a fun box. I don't even want to explain it. I'm just going to walk through it with you guys in first glance. So let's get straight into it without any further ado. Let's get into it. All right. So UltraTech, the basis of penetration testing, enumeration, privilege escalation, and web app testing. So the first thing you want to do for any CTF is going through and doing an Nmap scan of your RIP. I already have our RIP here. I'm going to make sure I add an hour so it doesn't run out. And I already did the Nmap scans that I need, so let's do our detailed Nmap scan first, which is nmap-sc-sv, and then outputting it into the Nmap format, and then RIP. As you see, we have FTP open, and we have SSH open, and then we have this HTTP port open running a Node.js Express framework. So I think the first thing I want to do is check out this FTP port. A lot of the time there's going to be some form of FTP vulnerabilities where we can a file gets leaked or something of the sort where we can get an initial foothold through FTP. So I just want to try, just so that IP copied, nice. I want to try logging in as anonymous first. So let's do FTP RIP. And I think if we just do anonymous, then no password, login failed. Okay, so anonymous isn't going to be an option for us. And there's also a way that we can check that FTP nmap anonymous script. There's definitely a yeah. So if when we do -sv-sc, we're enumerating the version and we're doing essentially all scripts for the port. So if anonymous login was allowed, then we'd see this in our Nmap scan. We see anonymous FTP login allowed. Obviously, there's nothing of the sort. It's just the FTP and the version. So anonymous login isn't going to get us anywhere. The next thing I want to look at is this HTTP port on 8081. So let's check that out on 8081. So we have a web page called UltraTech API v 0.1.3. It's just this in the source code. There's no sources. Okay, so it's literally just text here. Let's run a quick Gobuster scan to see if this web page is hiding anything. And then we will go from there. Strange port 8081 to have HTTP on, but who knows? We have auth and we have ping. Okay. Let's check out each of these directories. So auth is you must specify a login and a password. Okay, I think it's like the same, like a similar thing. It's just like a line of text. And /ping. Oops, wrong one. /ping. We get some form of error here. A type error, cannot read properly, replace of undefined. So I had really no idea what that is all about. But I don't think we can really go anywhere with this. This is like the first HTML document we've seen that isn't a line of text, so it's giving me some hope that there's something here. But there's still no sources, and other than the HTML text we saw, not really anything we can build off of. At this point in the box, when I realized that there wasn't really any FTP leads I could get on, there wasn't anything I could do with FTP. I had no oh my goodness, apologies. I had no credentials that I could try to brute force yet. So it was kind of just more enumeration. And that is when I did a scan of all ports. So the Nmaps, so let's take a look at that file. The Nmap scan I did was Nmap-p-, so this is just saying all, every single port. -T4 is just to have it like a faster scan. Like this scan alone took like 20 minutes. So I don't know what it'd take if I didn't put that. And then outputted to all ports on our IP. And this just gave me a quick not a quick rundown, but a rundown of what ports were open. These two ports you can ignore. I don't know, they didn't show up the first time I did this box, and they're not important, so ignore those. But we see we have 31331, and it's open. So I took that, and I did another Nmap scan, which is high ports detailed. And as you can see, these ports really still nothing, it's unknown, and they're closed in this scan. And then this 31331 port is an HTTP service, and it's running Apache. So it looks like this is a website here. So let's take a look at that, because this could be our lead. Oops. Let's just re-enter IP with our port. Okay, so we have a, let me just full screen this. There we go. All right, so we have a website here, UltraTech, which is the name of the box. So I think we're on the right track here. Let's just explore this website a bit. So big data, AI, blockchain experts, contact us. I don't want to do that. Okay, so here we looks like we have like usernames. So they put their full name and then their like online alias. I'm gonna make a file called users.txt and put these usernames in here. Let me make this easier for me. Just rearrange a little bit. All right, so we have root. Oops, I did Control-Shift-C. We have root, we have Paco, and we have SQL, I think, SQ4L. So now, now that we have these usernames, I want to start doing something with them in the background while I continue to explore this website. So I have another desktop open at the top of Kali Linux. You can switch desktops. So I've just switched desktops. And we have our users.txt. So I want to do a hydra command -L for a list of users, and then -P, and I'm going to do rocku. So user share word list rocku, and then I'm going to put our IP, which is, oops, I should have the IP just on copy paste, but oh well. We have our IP and then FTP, and this should run or start running. I want to do this in like verbosity. Restore file. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, that's what it's restoring. Okay, so it's going through each of our users lists, each of our users on the list, and going through the rocku database. So I'm just going to let that run in the background while we continue to enumerate our website, because obviously, by the looks of it, FTP isn't limiting our requests of connection. So we can like constantly do this and it's never going to block us out. So it's always just a good thing to have that running in the background. So let's continue here. We got root, Paco, SQL, All the Fortune 500 companies work with us. I'm sure that they do. Contact us. It's a 404. That is Twitter. About us. Oh, that's the same thing. What are we doing? Tell the unpaid intern to fill this part. We don't have time for this. This is funny. Okay. Let's run a Gobuster scan. That's what I should have first done. Let's take this new port that we discovered and run a Gobuster scan on it. Gobuster. So 31331. Okay, it's coming up with stuff. Cool. Let me check the source code just for. I usually just look for comments in the source code. Doesn't really give us anything. I'm gonna go back to the home page about us. Hey, what are you looking at? Oh, nothing. Okay, so nothing in the source code. Let's see if our GoBusters found anything. CSS, favicon images, index, robots. Okay, let's look at robots.txt and see if that leads us anywhere. So there's a sitemap, UTech sitemap.txt. Okay. Oh, so it gives us a new. So we have index, which is what we were just looking at. Let me get rid of these pages. 1010. Just. Then 31331. So this is our index page, index.html. What.html is this page. As you can see, like if you look in the bottom left of my screen, you can see /what.html. That's what that page is. But partners.html we haven't seen yet. So let me go to partners.html and see what that page is about. Private partners area. Fill in your login and password. Okay. This is new. Let me just run another Gobuster on this while we're here. Just to partners.html because I forgotten to for the past 2 pages. So let's do that. Let's just see like admin login. Invalid credentials. Okay, and this is where that auth page comes in. Okay, so it redirects us to this 8081 port and this auth page and tells us that they're invalid credentials. Okay. Let's see how this is working. Debugger, JavaScript. I wish I could make this bigger for you guys, but I don't think I can. Awesome. API. So yeah, it's an API that, let's see what it does. Get API URL. It takes this. It makes a GET request. So check API status. It makes a HTTP request to whatever the URL is. And it pings. Does it just ping itself? So in the console, so what this function is doing is it's taking this IP, this 10.10.9.3.15, sending it to the /ping API. And what the /ping API is doing is it's literally just running like the ping command. Like if we go in our terminal, okay, this Gobuster or anything. If we ping google.com, we're going to see that it returns bytes, saying that it's alive. That's essentially what the ping is doing. So what this function does, it's doing the same thing, but instead of pinging like google.com or any random IP, it's pinging itself. And if it's up, if it's running, then it's going to log the API seems to be running. So we should see in the console, yeah, here we go. So it says the API seems to be running, which means, of course, it's running because we are on the page. And it's going to constantly do that because, okay, it's at an interval of 10,000, I guess, milliseconds would be my guess. So, okay, so there's two, so this login page points to two different API or like paths, I suppose. We have the /ping path and we have the /auth path. Let's check out the /ping path. We were already there, but let's go to, let's type it in again. So we don't need that anymore. Oops. So HTTP and then get API URL. We're gonna go to 10.10, was it 95? Shoot, what is it? 93.15. 93.15 /ping. And then question mark IP is like, I guess it's like a command. And then this is the IP. So if we ping google.com, unable to connect. Oh, we need the port. Oops. It's on port 8081 and not HTTPS. Maybe? Loading? I think that's a good sign. Okay, cool. So it pings Google and it says it had a packet loss, 100% packet. I wonder if I have, no. Let's try that again. Do I have the, it is 8081. What if I try to ping my IP? Maybe Google's down, 10.2.113.254. Okay, there we go. So obviously, since my IP is up right now, it's going to respond and say, hey, I'm alive, with an ICMP packet. Okay, so this is what this ping functionality does. I wonder if we can like use this for like command execution. What if we put like a, I don't know, echo hello. So we got a bash error, a syntax error. What if we put like an IP first? Let's put 10.2.113.254. And then if we put a semicolon here, in bash, that denotes like a new command is starting. So by this logic, it's going to run this ping command. So it's going to ping my IP, and then it's going to end the ping command and terminate it, and it's going to start a new command being echo hello. No. What if I do like, if I surround this in like backticks? That's the same thing. Maybe that's a bad command to do. What if I do like ls? Or like id. Backtick, backtick. No name. Maybe I don't need this last backtick. Back quote substitution. I think we're getting somewhere. I think this is the vulnerability. This is the vulnerability where we definitely have command execution somewhere here. I just have to mess around with the, what do I do? Forward ticks. Forward tick, back tick. Oh, there we go. So ID works. So this works, I think. It says temporary failure on name resolution, but we got output. What if we do, who am I? www. Okay, what about ls? That's a database. Okay, so here's our vulnerability. This is the exploitation. So essentially, by doing this semicolon, like I said, we're terminating the ping command. The ping command still runs, or it tries to run at least, but then it gets terminated and our new command starts. We just had to finagle. That's a fun word. We had to finagle with our syntax here to let it run. So what I did is I escaped this, or I surrounded the semicolon in just normal single quotes, and I surrounded my command in backticks, and that seemingly gave us command execution. If we really wanted, we could put a reverse shell in here, but let's see where this database gets us. So we have the utech.db.sqlite database. Let's do cat. Does that work? Can I do that? Oh, okay. Root, this is a user, and admin. Okay, so we have hashes here. So this is the database. So we have, this is a hash. Let's copy that and echo and put that into root hash.txt. And then admin, put that into echo to admin hash.txt. So we have these two hashes. These are MD5 hashes. If you weren't sure, you could go to like a hash identifier. That's what I do most of the time. So identify, and it'll say it's an MD5 hash. And we can try to crack these hashes with John, the Ripper. So let's do John -- format. Oh, look at that. It's already there for me. Format equals raw -MD5, and then I want to do a Rocky word list. So word list equals user share word list rocku, and then simply we put our file. So let's do root hash. No password hashes left to crack. I think it's because I already did this. Hold on. Let me move root hash to root. Oops. Cat root is SLR hash. Okay, let's try again. Shoot. I think I need to do like -- show. Because I already did this box, so I already cracked these hashes. Let's. I guess I can just do it with hashcat then. We'll just we'll just do it with hashcat. So let's do the hashcat documentation. Hashcat format documentation, or hashcat modes documentation. This is going to bring up a example hashes. That's what I'm looking for. A huge spreadsheet. So 0 is MT5. That makes it easy. So hashcat -M0. And then I think it's -W. User share where this rocku. And then root. Specify parameter. Hashcat -H. Oh boy. Let's run that again. Hashcat, where's the word list? A0. What's -A? I forgot. I think that's like brute force is -A or -3. What's word list? Is it just -- word list? I think I'm something. Well, it's not -W, that's for sure. Hashcat word list flag. Hashcat cheat sheet. Lovely. No. Okay, that's not helpful. Hashcat word list. Did it tell me? What did I miss the word list? I'd have missed the word list. Oh, there isn't a flag. Okay. My apologies. So -m0 -a3, and then let's do our hash of root, and then our word list. Okay. Looks like it's good. Looks like we're starting here. I prefer John, just because I personally think it's faster. But we'll let this run for a little bit. And I will come back when it cracks the hash. So I will see you then. All right, we're back, and I've elected that instead of waiting for Hashcat, we're just going to use CrackStation. Since John isn't working, because I've already cracked the hashes, it just is being angry. So we're gonna use CrackStation, and it gives us our cracked hash. Oops, don't leave. So let's make a info.txt. So we know the root user, it has that password, and admin, I guess we might as well crack that while we're here. Cats admin hash, and see if CrackStation gets that. Mr. Sheafy. All right. So we have our hashes. I'm not sure why it didn't work the first time. I mean, I do know why. It's because John doesn't like me. But if you guys try to replicate that command, the John -- format raw this command, it should work for you. And it should crack almost instantly. So if it's not cracking almost instantly, then there might be a problem somewhere. But when I previously did this box, it instantly cracked, and it gave us these passwords. So now that we have these credentials, it's safe to say we can get a foothold on the box. So let's do just that. Let's SSH as, oops, don't want to SSH root at whatever the heck our IP is. Let's go here. SSH root as that. Yes. And we have our password. All right, awesome. So we are in the box as root, not the root you're thinking of, the user root. Can I control L? Cool. Let's cat at cpass wd and grep for users with the shell. We have the root user, we have a user LP1, and we have the current user that we're in. And I guess we have www, but I'm not really counting that as a user. ls, let's see, we're in what? Root's home directory. Let's just browse through the directories real quick, see if we can find anything. No. ls proceeding to www. Have API, which I'm assuming is, yeah. So this UTech database, that is where we. Actually, that reminds me. Since we have the admin password, let's just see admin, and it was Mr. Sheafy. Restrictor hey root, can you please look at the server's configuration? The intern did it, and I don't really trust him. Yeah, that'll happen. So I guess that's assuming all we can do with admin, because admin doesn't have a shell on the box, as we saw. There's no admin here. It's just root LP1, root spelled with zeros, and www. So I think the next step here is to just try to get linpeas onto our system here, and we'll go from there. So if I cd into temp, let's start a vertical. Make this big again. Make this big again. So let's listen -lvnp on port 123, and we're expecting linpeas.sh. and then netcat. Shoot, I always forget the port. Sorry, I should just write it down. That port on port 1, or that IP on 1234, and we're going to give linpeas sh. It should work. Connection made. Things were received. And if we do a quick ls, and there we go. We have linpeas.sh on the victim machine. So let's give it permission to run with chmod plus x linpeas, and then let's run that bad boy. sh. I guess I can close this while it runs. So I'm gonna let this run for a bit, and we will be back when it finishes. All right, welcome back. Our linpeas has finished, and it is a ton of output. So let's just scroll all the way to the top. And what we're looking for is the highlighted red, yellow, and funnily enough, we have some right here. So it shows our user, and then it looks like we're in a Docker container. So I think what linpeas is trying to say that something with this Docker container is messed up. There's something wrong here. That's why it highlighted. I wonder if it highlighted anything else. Scroll real quick. The red is like you should look at it, but I'm more interested in the highlighted stuff. We keep scrolling. We have Docker again. Okay. Scrolling. And I think that is it. Yeah. So if we do ID, we see that yes, we are part of a Docker container. If we do, let's do like Docker images. I think that's to show images. Yes, we have just one repository or like image. That's bash. I think, let's go to GTFO bins. GTFO bins. And see if it has anything for Docker. Okay, it does. This requires the user to be privileged enough to run Docker, i.e. being in the Docker group or being root. So we are in the Docker group. Any other Docker Linux image should work. It can be used to break out from a restricted environment by spawning an interactive system shell. The resulting is a root shell with this command. So we're running Docker, obviously. This is to mount it, I believe, and then we're removing that file and we're using chroot and spawning a shell. Okay, I explained that horribly because I'm half and half. I'm still quite new to this, especially to Docker. So I'm not exactly sure how this shell works or how this command works, but let's try it. And we need to change Alpine to bash because that is our image, bash. And let's see what happens. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. Maybe it's thinking too hard. Plus. Oh. Hold on. Who am I? There we go. We have root. ID. As you can see, we have broken out of the Docker container. We are now root. We can cd to root. I don't think there's a root flag. Private.txt. Oops. At private.txt. TXT. Life and Accomplishments by Alvaro Squalo. It's funny. LSLA. We see .ssh. And I think in the Hack the Box module, or not the Hack the Box module, the TryHackMe module, it asks for the first 9 characters of the SSH key. So yeah, if you're looking for 9 characters, you'd cd into .ssh, ls, and then you just look at the IDRSA and you take those first 9 characters. But yeah, that has been the box. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This was honestly one of the more fun boxes I've had because it was a challenge to enumerate all this stuff. Like this, our hydra brute force is still going from from it's still going in the same user, the same root user. We can stop that, but like all this enumeration in the background is super important because without enumeration, like without me running, if we didn't run these first cd TryHackMe medium ultra walkthrough, if we didn't do these Nmap scans, all these Nmap scans, so cat all ports, cat's detailed Nmap, cat high ports, these 3 Nmap scans were really the reason why we were able to get a foothold on this box, a reason why you're able to find so much about this box. Because the most FTP typically isn't a very secure service, so that's where a lot of the eyes are going to be drawn at first. But after we did some more enumeration, we found out this 31331 port is open, and it was an HTTP running that private, presumably unreleased, I think is what it was like emulating. It was from there. It was super easy just to go check that page out. I really enjoyed the API vulnerability. I thought that was super cool, being able to do command execution through that health check prompt with the API. So that was super cool. And then finding out we're in a Docker container and then just breaking out from there. That's the first time I've ever interacted with Docker, surprisingly. Um, and it was used for privilege escalation, so I thought that's awesome. But yeah, overall, a really cool box by LP1. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Do it for yourself. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. If you have any questions that I hope I could answer, leave them in the comments below, and be on the lookout for another walkthrough soon. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a good day and happy hacking.